Hey garden friends, what's up? So today I have no makeup on, my hair is an absolute mess, and it's just gonna be one of those hot mess gardening sessions that just happen every once in a while. But it's Saturday, so I feel like I can get away with it, right? Like, you're not supposed to put makeup or a bra on Saturday, but I do have a bra, so we're not that kind of gardening channel. So today I'm gonna be redirect seeding my wildflower garden. So I spoke briefly about this. What video did I talk about this? I talked about this, I think, in my container planting video. No, my seed shopping video, that's what it was. My wildflower garden was really affected by some torrential rain that we received earlier this month. So I went ahead and picked up some new seeds to reseed everything for some fall blooms and some late summer blooms. So I've been looking at everything, and there's a couple of things that I need to get in the ground ASAP, and then there's a couple of things that I need to wait just a little bit longer, like 2 more weeks before I put them in the ground. So there will be a little bit of bare soil in the wildflower garden, but that's purposeful because I want to make sure that everything kind of peaks right around the week of August 10th. My best friend, one of my childhood best friends, is getting married August 10th, and I have made it kind of a prerogative, or one of my goals for this wildflower garden is to grow her some sunflowers amongst other things for her wedding. And so I want everything to bloom right around August 10th. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. This is my first time growing sunflowers, so this is going to be a little bit of an experiment, but we'll figure it out, and hopefully we'll have some really good sunflowers. I've been reading and watching a couple of different things on how to do stuff, so I think that we should be good to go. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I have. Okay, so in case you guys didn't catch my seed shopping video, these are all of the flowers I have purchased for my best friend's wedding. So these are the ones I'm going to be planting today. I have a little bit of chamomile. I have 2 different types of sunflowers that I'm going to be putting in the ground because both of these have a maturity time of 75 to 90 days to bloom. So I'm going to go ahead and get those in the ground today. The rest of these are less than that. And we have about 80, let's see, what's today? I looked it up, and we have about 82 days left until October 10th. So around in the next 2 weeks are when I need to plant these. So I have some of these Chianti, how do you say that? Chianti hybrid sunflowers. Or how pretty are those? I'm so obsessed with them. Those are going to need to get in the ground August 15th because they have 55 days to bloom. The Mrs. Mars sunflower has 75 days to bloom. So this one is going to be this upcoming week. Oops, I totally smeared it. This upcoming week. So I think I might just wait 1 more week before putting this into the ground. I have some nasturtiums, some night and day mix. Those I'll plant August 19th. I have some purity zinnias, and these I will plant August 9th. I'm smearing it really bad on these plastic ones. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna head outside, and I'm gonna show you what the wildflower garden is looking like right now, because it's looking a little ratchet. Okay guys, I went ahead and popped up a tent just to help a little bit with the shade because my camera was overheating the last couple of days I've tried to film during the day. So I'm hoping that this will help some, but this is what my wildflower garden is looking right now. So as you can see, I have cut down most of the things that have flopped over because they had gotten to the point where they were crushing my delphiniums. They're out of bloom right now, but they were crushing my delphiniums and some of the other Shasta daisies, which are looking really water stressed. I think they need more water, so I'm gonna have to be better about coming out every evening and maybe watering them twice during the day. Let me know if you have any tips for Shasta daisies. The only ones I left up were these cosmos because they were in bloom. All the other cosmos that have flopped over were not really blooming, so I yanked everything else out. I did leave the gladiolus back here, but I think I'm going to rip that out too, as much as I hate to do that. But honestly, I just need the room for some sunflowers in that back row, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and rip them out, which is fine. They've already given me quite a few blooms for this year, but I'm going to cut all of these down, and then I'm going to turn all the soil and get all the roots up, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start direct seeding. Hey guys, so I just wanted to jump in here and kind of explain what I was doing. So if you guys are planning on direct seeding, maybe you can replicate this process and hopefully have pretty good success, just like I have. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and spread some plant tone fertilizer just around, kind of in a mess, but then I'm going to rake it into the soil. Normally I put the plant tone in the hole of wherever I'm planting the plant, if I'm actually planting a full-size plant, but because I'm doing seeds, I'm just going to go ahead and rake it into the soil because I think that will be a little bit easier than trying to stuff it in with each little seed, just so that as they grow, the fertilizer and all those good nutrients are available as they get bigger. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make 2 parallel rows, and I'm going to use my hoe here, and I'm just going to make it at least 2 inches deep. On my seed packets it said that they needed to be anywhere from 1/2 inch to 2 inches down, so I just wanted to make them deep enough but not too deep that it was too hard for the seedlings to come up through the soil. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go ahead and make those rows. And in these 2 little rows or trenches is going to be where I'm going to plant my sunflower seeds. Good, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my sunflower seeds and I'm going to plant the first row, or the row that's closest to me. So I know this seems kind of silly and maybe common sense, but for someone like me who sometimes just doesn't think things through, this was definitely something that I learned from the past, is to go ahead and plant that row so that you don't mess up your trenches as you're planting the one that's farthest away from you. I'm also planting each spot that I want a sunflower to grow with 2 to 3 seeds, and then I will go back and I'll do something called thinning the seeds once they start to sprout. And pretty much thinning the seeds is just cutting away some of the smaller seedlings so that there's 1 seedling remaining. But I did want to plant at least 2 to 3 just to give them a good chance and make sure that something does come up there in case one of them didn't sprout for whatever reason. The next thing that I'm doing is I'm making sure that they're at least 12 to 18 inches apart. I did kind of push the limit for that a little bit, so they're supposed to be at least 18 inches apart, but I did probably put them more like 16 inches apart in my sunflower garden. And I think it's going to be okay, but they will be a little bit squished. So if you have the space, I would definitely recommend following the seed packet's instructions and just making sure to plant them as far apart as you have the space available. I hope that all makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability, and hopefully you guys can have just as much success with sunflowers this year as me. So yeah. Okay guys, I finally finished. That was a lot of work. I just want to apologize in advance for the background noise. It is a Saturday, so there's a lot of traffic going by, so I'm so sorry for that. I try to make it as best as I can, but you know, I'm a slave to the road. So here is what I've got. So I forgot to tell you guys that I had a little bit of Dusty Miller to put in as well. That is also going to go into her bouquet. So I just planted them randomly where I could find spots because I wanted to keep this portion of the bed reserved for the sunflowers. And then I did plant 2 rows of sunflowers, one right here in the back, and then a little bit in front of that. I put them about 12 to 18 inches of spacing, which is a little bit small. It says that the spacing is best if it's 18 to 24 inches apart, but I figured I would go ahead and just try to press that a little bit since I am limited in the space that I have available, and I wanted to reserve the next 2 rows for the Mrs. Mars sunflowers and the Chianti variety sunflowers that I will plant in 2 to 3 weeks. So I got the Dusty Miller into the ground, got the 2 rows of sunflowers put in, and then down around my house, right here in this little space behind my cucumber. Whoa, there's a huge cucumber in there. Oh, that's right, I left him to go to seed to see if I could save some seeds from him. I forgot about that. So I have this little space right behind my cucumber plant that I've been wondering what to do with. And so I went ahead and just sowed some chamomile in here. So I'm hoping that it does get some good sun. Probably about an hour previous to this, it was in full sun, but then it gets a little bit of shade. So I figured it would kind of give it some time to cool off, since chamomile, it does do best being planted in spring. But it is a little bit of an experiment just because you're supposed to plant chamomile in spring. So, but I wanted to go ahead and try because I had a little bit of a gap here. If it doesn't work out, it's totally okay, and I can go ahead and stick something else in there, maybe some lettuce or something like that. So I'm not too worried about it, but I went ahead and stuck it in there because I thought that would be like so wonderful to have some chamomile in your bouquet. I don't know, and it would just smell so good. I don't know, I thought that might be a good idea, and the seeds were on sale, so we'll see what happens. Okay guys, so that is all I have for today. That was a really, really long days of hard work. I know that it's probably only gonna be like a 10 or 15 minute video, but that was a lot of work. I'm so glad that I finally got this done and that the beds are ready to be planted in. I can't wait to sow the rest of the seeds in these beds. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out and to grow our garden friend community, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!